Hi guys, I'm Crystal Sky, and today we're playing with brushes in Procreate. I just wanted to take this time to talk about how important it is to know what your brushes can do. You can make art with anything, but if you don't know what it looks like, you're not going to be able to figure out what it can do. Jazza can make art with literally anything, so if you can do that, then you can make something with a pencil. But anyway, we're talking about Procreate, and Procreate just had its really cool update. So before I went in and did anything, I took every single brush and I just kind of doodled and played around with it. For the ink brushes and the special type of charcoal brushes and stuff, I didn't really doodle. I just kind of looked at the line and kind of did different types of lines. But for the pencils, I doodled around. Now, let's talk about the first pencil I kind of liked. It was a little, when you went over lines, a little thick. I think I preferred the second one better. And I didn't really like the third one because the lines, even though I have a really light hand, as you can see with the first two, the lines were really, really dark. And I was really being light with it, so I couldn't quite figure out how to get kind of light lines with it at all. So yeah, I did lines, I shaded. I really like the shading on number 3, but I don't like the lines on number 3. I decided I wanted to draw a baby. The technical pencil I think is the one I use now. It's number 4. And as you can see, I get some nice light lines and then some really heavy lines once going over again, and it's really accurate to almost a real pencil, which is why I like it so much. I usually use mechanical pencils. My favorite pencil is a mechanical pencil. You've seen it on this channel before, and I can't remember what it's called. It's in my pencil case in my backpack for when I go to school. No, I can't remember. But anyway, it is a mechanical pencil. It's black. It's heavy. I really like heavy pencils because I can do light lines and heavy lines. I feel like I have more control. That pencil that I actually just worked with on screen, where I decided to try a little scenery, I really, really liked how light I could get it. But it didn't have many dark lines. It doesn't have enough variation, I guess you could say. That one, probably the one I'm doing now, is probably my favorite. Which is funny because I think this is one of the new ones. And I usually use like the technical pencil, and I just decided this is my favorite. So that is, I will not admit that is a character from Five Nights at Freddy's. I won't admit it, but it is. Anyway, more doodles. As you can see, some of these are really, really harsh, and some of these are really, like this one, really, really like dark lines, like heavy lines. And this one, I was like, whoa, and it was huge right off the bat. I don't remember this as like the charcoal that happened. But I made it smaller and tried to do lines with it, and it was at this point that I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to doodle with all of these. Because this one is obviously a shader for pencil work and not really a pencil. It's a pastel, so yeah. I had to wait for it to come back on screen. Ugh. My words today are kind of a mess. Anyway, more pastels. And I tried out every brush in Procreate 5. I did have to go to another sheet, but I tried out every brush, and it was really, really informative. I have a bunch of new brushes that I didn't think I would like, and I do. I'm thinking about making a whole folder. Again, I can't talk today. F's and S's. I'm thinking about making a whole folder of just the brushes that I like. Like, I'll try them all out again and then add them to a separate folder, because you can make folders in the brush library. And I'll just add them over to that brush library. That way I'll have all my favorites in a section. I'll duplicate them, of course. I'll leave them in their own section and just duplicate them to the next section. So again, it's really important to know what you're working with, and if you have Procreate and the update just happened. Go try out new brushes. I didn't actually know, because of so many features. There was the animate feature, and there's just a million features in this Procreate upgrade. I did not know that there were brushes, so once I heard that, I went to town. I don't really like, they have a whole charcoal section. Let me just talk for a minute about pencils and charcoal. So I only like a couple of the pencils. I'm very particular about what pencils I use in Procreate. But I don't really like the pastels or the charcoals, which is really funny because I like the oil paint. My favorite thing to color with is the oil paint. One of the things that really bugs me with Procreate coloring, one of the things that I don't like that a lot of people do, is when I go over a line of color, if I'm coloring, if I go over it again, I want it to stay the same color. I don't want to have variations in that color. I want to be able to apply a flat. And with the oil paint, I can do that because I can apply the oil paint and then I can blend it to be completely smooth. And of course, there's natural variations in the oil paint because it's not actually completely smooth. So what I do is I go in again. It's very hard with oil paint, I think it is. It's not an immediate, you go over it once more and it's a completely different color. It's not immediate. Like, for example, the markers. Now, in real life, I love markers. I have a tiny selection of Copics because I'm not rich. And I have a bunch of marker alternatives. And what I really like about markers is that if I go over it again, it doesn't have a huge blinding difference in the coloring. That's also why I prefer gouache to watercolor. And I also prefer oils to acrylics. These are real life supplies. And yeah, I just prefer to have something that I can apply a flat wash. It's very hard to get a completely uniform flat wash in watercolor. As much as I try, because watercolors are very beautiful, I just can't seem to hit that skill cap of being able to flat a wash. And that's what I kind of compare everything to. You can see that flat marker is actually a lot better than the other marker. And as you can see, these are imported brushes. So I have tried it. I haven't actually used these in a really long time. But I've imported stipple brushes and flat marker brushes because I'm trying to get a coloring brush, I guess you could say, that will help me apply flats. So there's that. As for what type of brushes I like to use, I found out that I do not like ink still. As you can see, the inking kind of, I'm trying to do almost hills and valleys, little squiggly lines. It's a calligraphy trick. And that when you go up, you have a thin line, and then when you go down, you have a thick line. And as you can see, when I do that backwards in most of the lines. Now, that is a bad habit of mine. I've just started to learn calligraphy, and it's not something I'm putting all of my time to, like drawing, but I am working on it, and because I know that I do that, I can see the line gets smaller and bigger with the pen brushes. But it's not actually something that I don't enjoy line variation. I enjoy it to an extent, but I don't like massive line variation. I like very little line variation. I like the lines on the outside of the piece to be thicker than the lines on the inside, and that's generally it. Now, if I'm talking lines that I like, art styles that I like, I am an anime person. I 100% love anime with every fiber of my being, but sometimes there's line variation, sometimes there isn't. Art styles are totally different. I am a huge fan of, like everybody else I know, I don't know anybody who doesn't like Studio Ghibli. A huge fan of Studio Ghibli. You can see in their lines kind of a sharpness, what I'm actually going to be posting a video soon about learning from different art styles. That's going to be a really fun video, but that's coming after the animation video. So I'm doing an animation, totally getting off topic here. I don't have a script, I'm just doing whatever I want. I'm doing an animation with a elf face. You'll see that soon-ish, I hope. I'm almost done, but I had a lot of homework to do this weekend. So it's the first weekend of, the first week of college, of the semester, after I got my AA. So I'm starting on my BA program, and there's just a lot. Anyway, I made a whole video about it, and then I didn't upload it because I was too nervous. Anyway, okay, we're off topic. I'm doing an animation, trying out Procreate and Animate. Now, I'm not an animator. I've never animated anything but a bouncing ball before. And I have a bunch of animation books, and I'm trying to learn the principles because one day I'd really like to animate. I'd like to make my own video game. I have a couple ideas for video games, and I'd really like to do that. So hopefully you'll see this animation soon. It's not going to be perfect, just my first animation. I'd really like to do animatics. A lot of people do play animatics. I'd really like to do that as well. But I'm learning, and my skills are still behind what I want to do. And also, I'm going to be doing art, learning from art, doing studies and stuff like that, because I didn't know how to do studies for the longest time, and now I'm learning. I figure I should pass the skill on. Again, I am not amazing at all of this. Probably I'm behind every single art YouTuber in terms of skills that you know. But as I'm learning how to learn in this particular area, and I'd really like to pass that on. I'd really like to teach you, if you're interested, how to learn this skill that I'm learning. That's the whole reason I made this channel. So if you guys like this channel and you're still here, please like this channel, maybe share it somewhere. That really helps me a lot. I really enjoy making these videos, and I just like seeing your comments. So if you have a comment or something you want to say to me, let me know. There's a comment section. You just gotta scroll down a little bit. If you don't want to like the video, don't like the video. You don't even have to subscribe. Just have a great day. And if you enjoy drawing and you're over the age of 20, you're not in high school anymore, and you think, I can't do this, you can. I'm 27. You can learn how to draw. I started learning after the age of 20. You can do it. So, that's it for me today. Playing with, just one last thing, playing with the vintage, luminescence, industrial, organic, really fun. If you have Procreate, go play with them. It's really fun. Alright guys, I'll see you later. Bye!